Hello, everybody. It is Monday evening. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. Technology issues happened. Don't know what my computer decided to do, but it did. But here I am. So, see if we can fix that bubble in my hair while we're waiting, since I didn't do it beforehand, I guess. All right. Huh. It is Monday. Can you believe we are in the last full week of June? I cannot believe it. Where on earth has time gone? I just don't know. All right, stop playing with my hair. It's okay, right? It is what it is. All right, tonight we are going to do something totally different. I have not done any scrapbooking workshop kits or layouts or anything on my page, but you know what? I challenged a friend this week to use stuff that she has in her craft room to create. So it's like, practice what you preach, Brenda. So let's get started and I will back up and introduce myself. I realized I hadn't done that. I am Brenda Sellers, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Knoxville, Tennessee. It is really warm outside today. I don't even know the current temperature. I just know that it is warm, and I like it in short doses. So how about that? All right, I can see comments. If anybody jumps on and starts watching, I'll be able to see that, and let's get crack-a-lacking. All right, let me share the screen or the camera pointed down. Yes, I have to look off over there a little bit. I haven't figured out how to make this be a split screen so it'll all be on one. So we're getting there. Technology changes and challenges and all of that fun stuff. So share my screen. Share second camera. There we go. Yes, I talked to myself and walked myself through it. All right. So when you get a scrapbooking workshop kit from Stampin' Up, this is what it looks like. This is not what the virtual album retreat looks like. This is totally different. This is one of the $35, I believe it's $35. Um, Let me just verify that for us. I have it pulled up. Yes, nope, this one's 36. So with the new reward system, you would get $3.60 rewards. And this kit is still available. All right, so let's open it up and see what all is included. That's kind of intimidating. We're not going to do the whole kit tonight. I may make separate videos so that we can see it all done, though. All right, let's lay you out of the way. So first off, we have our wonderful instructions. And this tells me that if I wanted to put my pictures in there, this kit, the way that they have it designed, would hold 14 pictures total. It tells me on project 1, you can use 2 3x4 landscape, a 4x4. So 5 pictures on the first project, 5 on the second one, and looks like 4 on the last one. Extra materials you might need. So we've got the workshopping kit. We're going to need some seal, our paper trimmer, and our paper scissors. This is the first layout. This is the one that we'll do today. All right, let's get busy getting started. I'm going to pop that staple out just because it's easier if the pages are laying flat. Toss you in the rubbish. All right. We're starting here. Gather all your materials. They're all here. So the first cut is where the scissors are. So let's lay that's the correct sheet. It shows us the front and the back. All right, I'm going to put the stack of material in my chair beside me. And let's go. So our first cut, landscape. so this is landscape, is at 7. And it looks like we are going to have some extras. So 7 inches is right there. Again, even for anytime I'm using my paper trimmer, I start with my cutting blade at the bottom and push my paper towards the top so that it is flush and I keep getting a nice straight edge. Otherwise, it doesn't reach all the way down to the bottom. And if I don't hold it tight, it could go side-goggled. So let's cut this at 7. We're going to lay this over here. And then we're going to cut this at 10.5. And then this is going to get laid right there. And then this is 1.25. Actually, it's 5.25 first, so we can save some more of that. There, by 1.25. Right. So then these little pieces look like they are extra. Cut orientation on our next sheet. This is going to be our front. The cakes are going to be our back. Our first cut is going to be at 10. That is extra. And then we're going to cut this off. Let's do 9.75. That way it's got more of it up here, pushing against that. So 9.75. Half. There's 3/4. And then obviously that was 10, so we need to cut it in half. So 5 inches. These two are going to get used. I'm going to lay them right on top of that one. And then this needs to be 10. And it is by 1.25. That goes in our use pile. You see where it's got the clear, like there's no, like it's white. That's the extra stuff. So I'll just lay it right there in our extra pile. All right, I'm going to lay these over here. And get our next pieces. All right, so that is this one. And it wants this to be our front. See, it even tells us, sorry, I'll let it camera focus. It tells us what orientation. So we need to lay our little scriggles, the little loop-de-loop, the E's looking things go up. So I'm going to cut it at 5. Out of the way. Make our paper be straight. So you see where the scissors are. 5. By 11.5. Get it over at 11.5. There we go. And then this one is also 5. Pieces and parts. Whoops, get in the track. There we go. 11.5. And then this piece is 10.25. I'm going to cut the length of it first. By 1.25. All right. There's those pieces. Just leave them stacked up there. And then our next piece is also the same orientation, front and back. Our first cut needs to be at 3 3/4 by 12. 3 3/4 again by 12. And then this is 1.25. This is extra in our extra pile by 5. Extras. Use. You can stay right there. Next piece. All right. We are cutting right here first. Ooh, look at that. Gingham check. All right. Our first cut is at 2 inches. And it needs to be 11 3/4. Slide you over there. Extra file, even though you're a teeny tiny piece. And then this piece is 9.25. Extra by 9. Extra over here with your friends. All right, our next piece. There are stacked up in order. All you got to do is keep going. Don't know how much further we're got to go, but we're going to get there. And then we'll just do the first 2 pages. So the first cut is at 2 inches. By 11 3/4. You can read a ruler, and even if you can't, you can follow along and you can see where I'm pointing at the little measurements. Our next one is going to be 5 inches. Right there. That down. By 11. And then this one is 4 3/4. That's a teeny tiny sliver. By 9. All right, there is that one. And now we're on to this back side, our peach cardstock. Okay. Light and dark. Need both of those pieces. So there's our peach. And you see, yep, you can see a difference. Nice. So our first one, we're gonna cut 3/4 of an inch. And because I want more of it on this, the light side is up. I'm gonna do 3/4 of an inch over here, and then I'll flip it around. Okay. There we got it. Cutting blade down and up by 12. Another 3/4 by 12. And then 1.25 inches. It's right there. I hope this didn't confuse you, but I wanted to have more up against that so that it holds it in place better. 1.25 inches. This one needs to be by 10. Slide, you guys. Extra over here. And then 1.25 inches. By 9 3/4. Just keep going in order on there. And if I were smart, I would have been writing on the back of those, but I think keeping them in order will help me. So now I need to do 4. Flip it around. 4. By 8. Start. 8. And back up and get these. This is 1.25 by 9 3/4. 1.25 by 10. And these are 3/4 by 12. Put them back in order. And then that's scrap. And this needs to be 4. It is by 8. All right, and now the dark side is up. Light is down. Our first cut is at 4.5. By 8 3/4. This will save you from measuring it again when you get ready to actually start putting it together. And I should have thought about that to start with. Sorry. We learn as we go. And don't press real hard when you're writing these, because if you wanted to, you could erase your marks. All right, now 4.5. By 8 3/4. Over 4.5 by 8 3/4. And then our next little pieces are 1.25. 5 1/4. And then this one is 1 1/4. I'm going to cut it off of this piece and save this whole big long strip by 5. Right. Next is our white willow cardstock. Our first cut. Oh, I should have been writing A's and E's and D's and all that stuff on there too. See, this, I told you this was my very first one. So we're learning. I think those will be okay. I can look at the sheets again, but we'll write all of that on these. Okay, this needs to be 3 1/4 straight down on this first cut right here. 3 1/4. And then we're going to cut it at 3 1/4. And we're going to write 2F. 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Yes, that's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm getting with their program, I think. So I'm gonna put, yeah, I've got all kinds of alphabet on there. I'll just lay it right there. And then let's see, that we cut it at first at 3 1/4. So now I need 4 1/4. Three and a quarter by 4 1/4, and that is 3I. And then this one is by 4 1/4 as well. Has a little bitty sliver coming off. So that is 3J, 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. All right, now our next piece, they all get cut at 4 1/4. I think I hadn't used this paper trimmer before. So 3 1/4. And a quarter by 4 1/4, and that is 1I. This one is 4 1/4. It's a square, so 1H, 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And this one is by 4 1/4 as well. Cute. Next piece, 4 1/4. The quarter comes off the top. One S, 4 1/4, 3 1/4. I know this seems like an awfully lot of work, but you know what? It's fun. 4 1/4. I can write by 4 1/4. And I'm just sliding all my little extra bits right over there into that pile. This is 1 cue, 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. All right, our next piece of willow white. Our first cut is at 6 1/2. Slide over there in our pile by 4 1/4. 2E, 6 1/2 by 4 1/4. Let's cut off 4 1/4 first. Think, because this was our 6 1/2. Yes. All right. 4 1/4. And then it needs to be 6 1/4. I'm gonna probably have to get my head in the way. It's that line right there. All right. 3E, 6 1/4, 4 1/4. And then this piece is 3 3/4. 3 3/4. A quarter, not 3/4. And it's 2L. I cut it correct. Yep. And then this little guy is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. Let's do this. I think I need to change my cutting blade. So this is 3K, 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. All right. There's another piece down. Phew. Front and back of that one. Looks like we've got one more, actually 2 more. So willow white. And it needs to be 11 1/2 by 11. So 11 1/2 first. $11. And this is our 1A. $11 1/2 first. 11. This one is 1J, 11.5 by 11. All right. Go under there. I'm going to move all of these little pieces. It's right there, so that's fine. All right, for both pages, map the photos. 1H, 1I. So now I got to go find which ones those are. Hold on a second. Not in there. Found a 1H. It's our white pieces. So let's turn these guys over so I can see them real quick. All right. 2s, 3s, 1s, 2s, 3s. There's 1H. 1I. 1Q. 1R is 1. Let's see if we can find. Okay. I have 1H, 1I, 1Q. I'm looking for 1R. Do I see a 1R? It's right here. It's white. 1R. It's 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. I got little bugs in here. Sorry. 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. I think I wrote the wrong thing on it. I did. Okay, got it. R and the 1S. Yep. Okay. Flag the right ends of 1M. It's that 1 1/4 by 10. This needs to go back. Look at these guys. One M, 1N, one M, one N. And one P. Oh, it's a D and one E, these little guys. Okay. All right, let me get the front page of that so I can see what that looks like. Okay, see these little flags? That's what we're doing on these big long pieces. Okay. Here goes nothing. There's one. And I'm going to make it be the same depth. So let's line those up like that. And then it needed to be our one R and one S. That is not these. This one is 1G. And this one is 1P. These guys. No, that one is stripy. It's those two. One P. Yep. Okay. We're going with those. Oh, you go back over here in your pile. All right, let's make these flaggies match these flags. I think after this, I will get the rest of those marked before I do the next video. Because we have learned a valuable lesson tonight. Write the letters on the back of them as you go. Over. Okay. So that one is up. Dark, light. There we go. I'm going to leave that laying right there so I can look at the layout. All right. So we need our left page. Got all of these, guys. And it is that piece. Scallops are going up. Adhere 1A to the patterned paper front. Okay, there's 1A. Stay on the correct page here, Brenda, right there. So it's going to go over here. And I'm going to have a little bit of a border, top and bottom. Okay, 1/2 inch. Okay. So let's add, I'm going to put adhesive on the back. That's where I wrote. So I'm going to guesstimate. So I've got about the same top and bottom. Bottom's going to be a little bit narrower. There we go. To the pattern paper to create the base page. There we are. Adhere 1B. All right, that is that paper. It's 4 3/4 by 9. So let's measure it. 4 3/4 by 9. Yep. And it goes about right there. One C is cake looking paper. Three by 10.5. One C. Get on the right sheet. 1C. And that tells me on this sheet that 1C is 3 by 10.5. That's too big. I'm going to leave it right here. I don't think so. There's my 7 by 10.5. That's those two. And that one, where's my big piece? Let's see. Oh, you guys come back over here. We'll need you. All right, it looks like it's got cake on it. It's 3 1/4. It's too big. Bet I didn't cut it. Bet I didn't cut it. I didn't. So 3 by 10.5. Geez, oh Pete. Thanks for hanging out with me for this first one. All right. You guys go back over here with your friends. You come over here. And so you guys are going to go right there. Not in our scrap pile. Let's put the basic or the Whisper White on top. Right there. All right, so this is going to go that and like that. And we are at, oh my goodness, how long already? 48 minutes. I'm going to stop it in about 5 minutes, and then I will arrange all the pieces and put the numbers and such on them. And then we'll go again later, maybe tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon. That way it's a whole lot easier. And it's like, oh, okay. So we have 1A, 1B, there's 1C. Now I need to find 1D. It's one of the light colors. Right here. But what measurement? Because I didn't write that on there. Five and a quarter. Okay, that one is next. 1D. You might get this. It's going to go right there. 1E. And it's going to go right there. How about this? I'll just lay them on here and then I'll put them on later. 1F is which piece? That big cake looking piece. Oh, it's a small piece. Okay, it is right here. This one is the correct piece. So that's one F. So you just need the measurements on, or the letter, like the 1A, B, C, D, E, F, and then 1G. Let's find 1G. It's this little guy. That's the cake looking one. So where does 1G go? Up here. Adhere, prepared 1H. Oh, I got those over here. Goes right there. And 1I goes right there. Embellish with die cuts and stickers. That stuff goes over here. And add your journaling. Okay, there is that page. We're going to lay it right there and grab all of our ingredients for our next one, which is the right side of our layout. So we need this guy and 1J that I have laying over here. And it's going to go this way. And then we need 1K. Which is this big friend. 1L. Which is this big friend. 1M. I'm going to use that as a marker. Which looks like, oh, right, here we go. 1N is his buddy. Actually, backwards. 1M, 1N, 1O, 1P. There we go. And then put 1Q. Goes right there. Come in a little bit. 1R is his friend. 1S goes right here. And then stickers and journaling. Okay, we did it, friends. We did it. Thank you for hanging out. I will put these pieces together. I will put all of their adhesive on them and make it look all nice and pretty. And I'll share it on the next video when I get ready to start the next 2 pages. Whew. That was a workout. And then, you know, the next one will go a little bit faster. Let me stop screen sharing. The next one will go a little bit faster because I have all of the stuff already cut. And I will also have them labeled so I can just have them all in one pile. So lesson learned, when you're cutting, put the numbers and letters on the back of the sheets so that you know which side goes up, which side goes down, and then you can just grab them and go. So I will have these 2 pages completed. They won't have pictures or anything on them before the next video, but they'll have their stickers and such, and then we'll get ready and play with the next ones. I hope that you have a great night. I hope that this didn't scare you and chase you away from scrapbooking. I have been wanting to get back into it, and I have bought several of the scrapbooking kits, but I haven't done them yet. So now that I have pulled this one out and done some, I hope that you can too. And I will tell you what, if you order this scrapbooking workshop kit, you saw all of those little pieces and parts that were extra. I will make some cards to go with that. I will make a card class, and I will send you the stuff to complete some card projects with those extra bits and pieces. How about that? And then if you don't want the scrapbook for yourself, you can donate or give it to someone as a very nice gift, and you've got some cards that will match it. All right. Thank you for watching. I hope that you have a great night, a great week. Do something fun for yourself, and I will catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. There we go.